Antonio, Texas has, in fact, passed the non-discrimination ordinance that was put before it 8-3. A few weeks ago, Alyssa Chan came under fire for calling gays disgusting and saying that we shouldn't adopt children. She tried to take a middle road by saying it's tradition, but and saying she has nothing against gay families, but like a mama bear with her cubs, don't mess with him or you will lose. Greg Abbott is running, who is the current Attorney General of Texas, is running to replace Rick Perry. He weighed in to see how they could counter the measure. Ms. D. Villarrubia had an occurrence that would have been prevented under the ordinance because she was in fact kicked out by her San Antonio landlord 2 years ago because she is a lesbian. She is also a former Air Force officer. Religious groups are, of course, opposing this ordinance, saying that it infringes on religious freedom, when in fact the only thing that is infringed is their sense of superiority under the law, because they cannot do to gay people as they please without some kind of fear of legal repercussions. Villarrubia said, when I say the Pledge of Allegiance, I say justice for some, because there's an asterisk that means not me. She continues, today I would take the asterisk away and finally say justice for all. This is real life consequences for many people. But in a state that has been lambasted by the media currently, as well as the states of North Carolina and for a long time and still even Wisconsin, we are seeing a trend. We are seeing people who are sick and tired of being embarrassed by the bright sea of red in in both the chambers of the state government and the governor of that state. Julian Castro, who is the mayor of San Antonio, gave a dazzling speech about how he came from poverty to experience the American dream. And as opposed to a mop, he can get a microphone and proclaim his story. In North Carolina, in Texas, in Wisconsin, and many other states where it is bright red, the fight is on for the American dream. But also we have seen a lot of small victories, like in Texas. Even I found that after the abortion law and the people's filibuster and Wendy Davis's filibuster, I found that Texas did pass a DREAM Act to give financial aid to dreamers. And that was quite interesting because Texas is as red as it gets. But we are seeing tinges of purple, even though that bright red is in there. Also, in Wisconsin, officers were arresting people who were singing to protest Governor Scott Walker's radical policies. And then when that was done, when they were arrested for exercising their Fourth Amendment rights, they stood like this. Needless to say, state troopers were called in to combat the silent menace. So now we are seeing a lot of people who are sick and tired of being embarrassed by their states. And even though we slipped up in 2010 and it was a massive just trouncing of Democratic tail, we do see, especially in the state governments, the difference between the two parties. Whether it's in North Carolina with Moral Mondays, whether it's in Texas with the arrests, or with the troopers trying to take out people and arrest them and take them out of the room while the abortion bill is being debated, or Wisconsin where singers were carried out by state troopers. We are seeing a blistering attack on the policies that they have pushed in the states' governments. Hopefully we can see a repeat of 2006, and some states will have at least one chamber go blue that was formerly carried by Republicans, and we can actually see a little bit of progress coming up. So we've seen it in Colorado, where they went from bright red to purplish to blue. And actually, there is an article on that, how to turn your state blue, Colorado Purple Union. So Virginia is another state to watch right now because they have an election in the off year, and it's kind of like taking the national temperature. So I'm hoping that soon we will see Terry McAuliffe elected as governor in 2 months. I'm watching and waiting. I actually think Election Day will be November 5th this year, and that is correct. So, I'll be watching and waiting, and I hope you are too. See you later.